Hi there, welcome to Man Gets Sober. My name is Matthew Kerrison and I'm here to take you through my sober journey. What I want to do in this channel is really tell you about my story, tell you about my observations, tell you about what I did, and then give you 10 key steps to help you do the same. It's a real tricky one, right? Getting sober. And really, I want to start today with the key one, and that's make your decision. The reality is there's going to come a point in your life, if you were like me, where you were drinking too much, whatever that may be. It's not a competition. It's asking that question and answering it correctly. Would life be better if you didn't drink? And if the answer to that is yes, then you're going to need to make a decision. That decision's not easy to make, and it may take some time to make, but the fact that you're asking yourself that is super key. So for me, it started nearly 5 years ago now. And you know what? The first time I tried to get sober, I did it the wrong way because I didn't make the decision for myself. The decision was kind of made for me. I'd made some mistakes. I got drunk at an inappropriate time. And my wife said to me, "You've got to stop drinking." And you know what? I did. I did. And I stopped for about 2 to 3 months. But the reality is I hadn't made the decision for myself. I've made the decision for her. And that's a really key thing you got to start with, is the decision has to be for you and you alone. It can't be for your wife, it can't be for your partner, it can't be for your family, not your friends. It has to be a decision that you make. And the way to start doing that is start educating yourself. Now, this is the first time I've done YouTube. This is a new channel, so please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. I got so much to tell you, I really have, and I really want to help you on your journey. I feel that there's one thing in my life I'm an expert on. It's getting sober. So much so that I've actually written a book. It's called Man Gets Sober. Men Don't Talk, so I wrote it down. All the shit you need to get sober in one little book. And it really is that. It's a heartfelt, honest, open story with facts, with my observations, with everything I went through and everything I did to get sober. I advise you to read it. It's a great read. It's an easy read. It's available on all Amazon sites. Please download it for Kindle. Please go and buy it. Honestly, I think you'll enjoy it and it will make you laugh. So make your decision. That's the first step in the list of my 10 steps. And I will go through my 10 steps today just to show you what they are, to talk to you a little bit about them. But we're going to go through those in these videos because I think it's super key that you understand those. And I think it's really key that you need to understand that you're not alone out there. There's plenty of us. Honestly, we're good people, right? People who have problem with drink, with drugs, they're not bad people. They got addicted to an addictive substance. It happens. You don't need to feel down. You know, the one thing for me I will say, and this is just being totally honest, is once I've made my decision, once I knew that the pain was too much, that I couldn't carry on living the way I was living, there was a sense of relief, a sense of joy, in fact, that I could actually make one change to my life, one small change, and it would change absolutely everything. And it did. And you know what? The truth is, it was after a rock bottom moment. You don't need to have a rock bottom moment. Some people do, some people don't. But it was for me, and I will tell you more about that in future videos. It's a long story, it's one worth telling. So please come back and listen to that. But it was the catalyst for me making my decision. And that decision, it can't be a decision of, I will try, I will, might, I'll see how it goes, let's give it a go. It has to be 100% in your mind. The only way for me to get better in my life is if I stop drinking. There is no other choice. There is no other way. And the great news is there is a brilliant life out there. Honestly, it's great. Do you know what I mean? My life has changed exponentially. I can't even begin to tell you. My health is fantastic. My relationships are fantastic. My work is going well. I'm starting to do these things. I never dreamt of doing those, but I talked about them. I was good at that. Talking about those in a bar or whatever, telling people how amazing things were going to be and how everything was great, but it wasn't. And making that one decision literally made everything better. It gave me pride. So, how do you make that decision? How do you get there? What are the things you can do? Well, I think the first thing you can do is educate yourself. Really start looking into, YouTubers, read my book, read other people's books. Annie Grace, This Naked Mind is a great book. Also look at Habits V2 by um, Kevin O'Leary. He's great. You can listen to David Boyle, I'm Quitting Alcohol, which is on Spotify. There's a whole host of people who've really taken this sobriety thing and moved it forward. And I hope to be one of those too. And I hope you keep listening in. Another thing I drew on was famous people, believe it or not. I looked at people like Brad Pitt. I looked at people like Tom Holland, people like Daniel Radcliffe, people who were, who are mega famous and have turned their back on alcohol and openly admitted it. And I looked at it and I thought, I want some of that too. Why can't I be like that? I was always kind of jealous of people who couldn't and didn't drink. And then, it happened for me and I made that decision. And there's two things, and I'm going to go through the steps and give you a brief overview, but there's two things that are super key. It's make your decision and create a plan. So if you take only two things away from today, and there's lots more to come, make your decision, create a plan. You can't just decide with nothing backing it up. You've got to put a plan in place. So let me go quickly through the steps because I think it's going to give you a flavor and idea of what we're going to talk about in these videos. So the first one is make your decision. You can go onto my website as well, www.mangetsober.com. Links will be down below. Please click in it. It's early stages, but going to create something really cool. Going to get some programs for you guys and girls, and also have some Excel worksheets, things for you to use for your journey. So make your decision is key. That's number one. Number two is decide if you need professional help. I didn't choose that path, but you know what? I would recommend it 100% because some of you do need that. There's some absolutely fantastic help and support available if you live in the UK, or I live in Paris at the moment. And I know that here there's not just AA, but you can go to doctors, there's support clinics, etc. Pull on those, use those. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't feel shame or embarrassed. You know what? The shame and embarrassment is if you keep on drinking. It's not in getting sober. There's nothing but kindness and pride from getting sober. You've got to realize that. So decide if you need professional help. I'm going to go into that as a whole topic because I've got lots to say as well on that. Create your plan. Touched on this earlier. Super important. So when I stopped drinking, I created a plan. And do you know what my plan was? It was literally an A4 piece of paper with the days of the week written on across the top. I did that for 2 weeks. Morning, afternoon, evening. What am I going to be doing for that time for the first 2 weeks? Absolutely fill my day and stick to it. And I did. And you know what? It helped me break that camel's back. It helped me get through it because I had focus. I had something I was going to do. It cost me some money, but you know what? It wasn't expensive as drinking. I took my kids to a theme park. I went to the cinema about 4 times. I played board games. I went out for walks. I did all these things, but I planned them and I stuck to it and I didn't let go. And that helped me immensely. And I'll help you create your plan too. Tell people or not, because you have a choice. It took me a while to tell everyone. I didn't want to. I wanted just to keep it close within my family to start with. I didn't feel I needed to broadcast it, but some people do. And you know what? There's no right or wrong way. It really doesn't matter. If you want to go on social media and tell everyone, do it. Some people need that support, that fire, that enthusiasm that people will come with you, to you with. So, do it. For me, I wanted to keep it a private affair to start with, and now I want to talk about it. Now I've had my thoughts are clear, and I feel I can help people, and more on that later. Prepare your elevator speech, right? An elevator speech is simple. It's the idea that if you got into an elevator and you had maybe 3 or 4 floors to go up, and someone said, "Hey, what do?" You can answer them clearly, concisely, and have that ready every time. People are going for the rest of your life to ask you either why you don't drink or would you like a drink, and you have to have an answer. Now, you can choose that answer, and I'm going to go into those in a lot more detail, but think about it. You need an answer. And you know what? Here's the news: you can lie. Okay, so the next step is do the work. You know, the reality is this is something that's going to need work. You can't just get sober just by going, "Oh, I think I'll stop drinking today. I think I'm kind of done with that." You've got to do the work. You've got to put the effort in. And I talk more about that in the book, and I will talk more about it here. There were some people who I caught real, how can I put it, you know, encouragement from people that I didn't think I would. I came across a guy called Sean Whalen. He's a gun-toting American patriot. Honestly, he's not everyone's cup of tea. I get that, but he talks about the effort. He's a rich man. He's done it through effort, and everything takes work. So you need to do the work. And again, I can give you tips and help on that. Exercise. That's the next one. Get into exercise. I don't care what it is. Honestly, go for a walk, play tennis, do what you want. Think about when you were younger. Two people I've helped actually with drink, and one of them used to swim and one of them used to play golf, and now they've gone back to it. And it's filling their time, and they, honestly, it's something you can pull on. None of us drank as kids. We all did fun things as kids. Go back to those fun things you used to do. Think about it. Maybe it was football. Maybe you didn't like sport. I didn't. I was absolutely hopeless at sport. And I'll talk to you more about that as well, because that was probably something that really kind of, hurt me when I was a kid. But I found a passion of running. I don't run miles every day, but I do run every other day. And I do it, and it clears my head. Drinking is, I think, a mental health issue. And I think exercise for all mental health issues is so key. I'm not a doctor. I want to make that clear, but I really do think it can help. Staying sober. You're going to have this honeymoon period once you've made your decisions, you created your plan, you followed the steps, you've got sober. People are going to congratulate you. People are going to be really pleased for you, but that does wear off. And you're going to have that fantasy of using again, of going back to alcohol. It will happen. So you've got to think about staying sober. On that, the next step is around slipping up, because it does happen. I slipped up, and I will tell you more about that. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with slipping up. I don't like the word relapse. It's just me. I know it works. I know it's an AA word. I know it's a word that is widely used. I don't like the word relapse. I think it's harsh. I think it makes you feel like a failure. You've slipped up. You made a mistake. Learn from it. Move on. We all do. And sometimes, and for me particularly, that slipping up was actually the catalyst to move on. The final step is help others. And that's what I'm here doing today. And that's what this channel is going to be about. Me helping you. It'll get better. I'll make it better. I'm not in a ski chalet. I'm in my bedroom, but I will make it better. I want to help you. And that's why I'm doing this. So today is about that key one. Make your decision. Sit down and really think about it. Look on the internet. Start questioning why you're drinking. Start looking at what is too much. Start looking at famous people who've stopped drinking. Look at some of their comments. Look at some of the ways they did it. Pull on those resources. Look at Kevin O'Hara. Listen to David Boyle. Listen to Annie Grace. Whatever it might be. Listen to me, please. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel. We're going to make it good. I promise you. And I promise you that sobriety gives you a life of just incredible opportunity. Doors have blown open for me since I got sober, and if I can give any of you that, if I can, then I will have done my job. So thank you for listening to this first episode of Man Get Sober. My name is Matthew Keris and I hope you have a great day. Think about getting sober, make your decision, and we'll speak again next time.